All right, we just finished 11th Hour, the first year at their very first new location, Melrose Park. Just in short, 11th Hour used to be 3 haunts and a corn maze. This new location eliminated the corn maze and combined 3 haunts into one. So it's all one price. You go through 3 haunts. Instead of exiting one and going into the next one, you go through all 3 of them. Essentially, it's all the sets rearranged plus some new sets put in there. So that's the premise of 11th Hour. It's been around a number of years. So what did we think about the very first haunt in the new location? What do we think?
Laura?
Well, first of all, I've always been a big fan of 11th Hour. I've been to the last few years, and I really enjoyed it. This year, however, I wasn't so pleasant. Just to be honest, I mean, the set design, I have to give a 5 out of 5. I mean, that was great. Actors were great. Everything was great. But at the beginning, they had this elevator, and they let too many people in it, and it was not pleasant. I didn't like that at all, because we were crammed in like sardines in this dark elevator, and it didn't get off to a good start for me, because that's how it began. So I wasn't real happy with that. At that point, by that time, I just wanted to get out of there. So it kind of put a damper on it for me. They just let too many people in. So I don't know why they did that. If there were less people in the elevator, it would have been fine. But other than that, like I said, 5 out of 5 for set design. They always did have good set design. I thought it was great again. It was very elaborate. Actors were great. I mean, everything else was fine, like I said, but just the way I just didn't like the way it started, and I was a little disappointed because I did enjoy it more in the past.
Favorite part?
I can't even say there was a favorite part. Probably the set design. I can't say a specific. Actually, there is one part. It's before you even go into the haunt. There's this big thing that makes this noise, and it looks like something out of Frankenstein, the 1931, the one with Boris Karloff. And that's in the waiting area, so that's not even in the haunt, but I thought that was pretty cool effect. But, I mean, like I said, the set designs were great. I mean, they did do a really good job with that. But I said, as far as the haunt itself, just because of the way it started with the elevator, I wouldn't rate it, I wouldn't give it a high rating.
So what is your rating?
Probably a 3 out of 5, which is unusual because every other time I've gone has been a 5 out of 5. But like I said, I still do give the set design a 5 out of 5 and the actors a 5 out of 5.
All right. We're Paul here. So the 11th Hour, which we've been to in the past and really enjoyed a lot. It was 3 different haunts plus the corn maze, and it was pretty good before. It was fun to see a lot of stuff. This year, when we were going in, the first thing, as soon as the gobstick booth said the word, or no, it was a girl. I don't know why they built a big set of just a stage with stairs for the girls to give you the rules over, basically. I don't know why it was there. It's kind of neat. It was why they did that, but they did. But she was giving the rules. She mentioned the word zombie, and I was like, okay. That kind of turned me off. I know in this day and age right now we're living in, The Walking Dead is a really popular show, and zombies are popular. But when you go in a haunted house and you see almost nothing but zombies, that's not really what we're looking for. I mean, there might be. This didn't have that aspect with the different zombies and different. It didn't work here for me anyway. So the set designs were pretty good. And what was really cool was when you first go in after the horrible elevator ride, it was packed. You could see it was 3 feet. The exit was, they moved the elevator like 3 feet, and that's it. But when you go around the corner, there's this big room, like a big mausoleum type area. And there was nobody there. There was like one zombie in there. And I was waiting because I kind of wanted to have the group, and it was empty. And all of a sudden, when the start of the group started coming, the zombies started coming out. And I was like, this is cool. There's a whole bunch of zombies started coming out of these catacomb-like areas. And then I got disappointed when I realized it was just the group in front of us. The group in front of us, it was that and a couple of zombies. It was a neat concept. I'm trying to think. One thing I did like, which these guys have seen this year, I haven't seen it, but there was one room where the lights, when they would go off, when you were in like a hallway, they would go off, and it was just like gray walls with bricks, fake ones. But then they would go off, and all sorts of cool designs started appearing on the walls when the lights were changed. That was neat. I hadn't seen that before. All right, so I'll give it a 2.5 out of 5 for me, which is kind of low for this caliber haunt.
Basically, I'd have to echo some of the same concerns that Laura and Paul had. One thing I will say, though, I was talking to one of the people who run it, and he mentioned that they were having problems with the move to this new location, and also they were having problems with the lighting inside. And that was definitely true. Many of the sets were completely dark. There was ambient lighting from other areas, And I can't blame the haunt for that. That's not their fault. It's just something that happened. The bad thing about it is one thing that's always been great about 11th Hour is their elaborate sets. And the elaborate sets were still there. All the same sets from 11th Hour were there, rearranged in different places, and additional sets. Now, the fortunate thing was the additional sets were still lit. The main new set is an actual street scene, as if you're walking on a street, an abandoned street where zombies are walking around. And the buildings are extremely well detailed and done. Some of them have porches and front stoops and open windows, and it really looks like you're walking on a sidewalk along a street. That excellent, very well done. I'll give them points for that. I missed the set design. It's one of my favorite things about 11th Hour. Actor enthusiasm was still there, so I'll have to give them some points for that. It seemed to me as the haunt was a little bit shorter than it was when the haunts were separate. Basically, this is the corn maze gone and the three haunts combined into one. It was approximately a half an hour for us to walk through. I could tell the different sets from the previous 11th Hour just were rearranged, but cleverly rearranged. So the living room set, when you first walk in to the old 11th Hour, that was where the lights went out, and then all of a sudden some ghouls were around you. But this time, they opened up the secret passage, and you had to walk through it. It was through the fireplace. Now, clever. Some clever actors in there. They had a Coke machine that you had to
I almost fell through that again, because I was leaning against that, and I didn't know it was a door.
I thought it was a real Coke machine, actually, until Paul opened it, so it actually looked really good. I did not like the elevator, and like Paul said, I had the same reaction. When I heard this speech in the beginning about this is going to be a zombie zoo, I thought, oh, no, how much variety is there going to be here? That really negates the variety. But I have to say, it really wasn't like that. The impression that the speech gave, the introductory speech, was that it was like a zoo, a literal zoo. So you walk past a bunch of cages and you see different types of zombies, but that's really not how it was at all, and I'm happy for that, because I'm happy the speech wasn't exactly accurate, because I enjoyed it much more. I did not like, as everyone has mentioned, the elevator. Overall, I would have to say I still like 11th Hour, but I would rate this one sort of a generous 3 out of 5.
Ooh,
I know
generous at a 3. Wow.
I know it could be better, and I know I'm fairly certain it's going to be better. So I'm not going to knock it this year, because this is first-year teething problems, and they can't necessarily help that. There is one thing I will say, and there was a portion in the maze where it was just a bunch of red cloth that you had to walk through, and you could easily get lost in there. I don't recall that being an 11th Hour before. Maybe there was something like that.
No, I don't think so. I don't think that was there.
I'm not a fan of those things. But other than that, the sets were there. I can't knock them for the lighting. So I'm going to give it a 3, and it's a reserved 3, but it's also a hopeful 3, because I'm assuming that it's going to be better next year and in the subsequent years.
That was Brian waving a car through, by the way. He wasn't having a seizure or nothing for those of you watching.
Yes, that was a car. So 3 out of 5 for me.